That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome on the IG story.
Thanks. Yeah. I put it on Snapchat. Just said, "Don't say something dumb."
All right, Walker Parks, you can go ahead with the question.
I guess, do you feel like an offensive guard at this point? Obviously, you played tackle a lot.
Definitely. So I feel pretty natural so far. I'm still settling in. Actually, my grades are improving. So we have like technique and production grades. Technique is getting better. Still a little sloppy at times. Having a hard time staying on my feet in certain times. Whether I'm stepping on the center, stepping on the tackle. But I definitely feel like I'm settling in more. And honestly, I feel a little bit more comfortable at tackle. I felt like I could perform at tackle, and I did decent at tackle last year in my freshman year. But I never felt like a dominant tackle. I never felt comfortable in my technique. I was still trying to figure it out like as the days were going by, even in fall camp, going into my third year. But I feel a lot better at guard now.
What is it about guard that feels more natural than tackle?
So definitely from a run blocking standpoint, I like having my hand in the ground. Run blocking out of a 2-point stance is very difficult. Being on the island, I'm an athletic guy, but still had a hard time being out there in space. Sometimes I get beat around the edge, give up a short edge, open my hip. At guard, you got to stay more lateral, and I can work back and forth, whether I'm working with the center or working with the tackle, especially in pass pro. It's not as difficult at guard, which I can help out. Like I said, if we're going like a 3-down front, Okie front, I can help both, and I'm not really necessarily one-on-one. But I like being one-on-one too, because you're kind of in like the phone booth. If you mess up, it's a lot worse because they're a lot closer to the quarterback and right there. But I mean, I like being able to get my hands on fast. So just a mixture of things.
Is it, you said you're stepping on the center or stepping on the tackle?
Yes, sir.
Understanding your space in terms
Definitely.
of confined space, that's still the most difficult part of it.
100%, making sure my steps. So if I need to be stepping vertical, I was stepping lateral, and I was stepping on him, messing him up, or I was falling down, looking goofy. So definitely working on that every day to fix that.
Walker, how much pride do you take in how well the offense had played through the first third of the season? You're number 13 in scoring offense in
Yes,
the
sir.
country. And on Saturday, I mean, DJ had all day to throw. A really great copy you guys provided for him.
I take a lot of pride in that, and so do the other guys. As everybody knows, last year our performance was very subpar, and it was very difficult coming in and watching the film. When the guys that we have, the 5 that start, and even the guys that don't start, we take so much pride in it, put so much work into it throughout the year, all summer, compete, push each other, and so it's hard. Like especially last year, when you're not performing to where you thought you'd be performing, whether that was like we didn't put in enough work, didn't prepare enough. You go out and you put bad stuff on film, and it's very hurtful to your pride, and you think you're gonna go out there and perform better, and you don't. And it's very nice seeing that piece together, being able to give DJ the time that he needs, open up holes for Shipley and our other running backs, everything like that. Watching that fall into place, it's huge and it's very comfortable. But at the same time, you can't get comfortable because there's a lot more games to play. We've only played 4 games. We're only promised 12 and hopefully more after that. So just got to keep building on that.
You've had a chance to kind of see Blake, I guess, grow over the past 4 years.
Definitely.
Who would you say he's kind of just improved the most since his first game against Georgia Tech?
I think he's improved a lot in his confidence. So fall camp, he wasn't really having issues with anybody. Like he blocking everybody. I think once we took it into the game perspective, I think he had a little hard time opening up, but he's been building on that, getting a lot better in practice. His footwork's getting better. His hands are getting better. I think he's getting better all around. I think people forget that he's a true freshman, that he's 18 years old, just got out of high school. And to go out and play against guys that, we just played a Wake Forest team. The D-line was all redshirt juniors, seniors, guys that have been around 5-6 years. So being able to go out there and compete against guys like that, like as a true freshman, that's ridiculous. So he's definitely improving a ton.
So when you guys evaluated the take from Georgia Tech, was it kind of like, okay, he's a true freshman, he's kind of getting his licks just being out there for the first time?
A little bit of that, and some of it doesn't always make sense because we have assignments, and sometimes like it looks like he messed up, but it really wasn't his fault. Like there's a few plays where we got the wrong call, so we went the wrong direction, and like the DJ and the running back went the other direction. So it looked like bad on him, and everyone's like, "Oh, get the freshman out." Whatever. It really wasn't his fault. So there's some stuff like that there too, where he made some mistakes, but so have we all. We've all made mistakes throughout the season. It doesn't matter how old you are, how many years you played. So, but he's definitely getting better.
That was obviously a gut-wrenching loss up there in Raleigh last year, double overtime.
100%, yep.
Cost you not only the playoff, but another ACC title. How much has that kind of stuck in your craw over this past year, and just looking forward to getting a chance at revenge for that?
Definitely looking forward to it. And 100% we want the revenge. We want to win the division. We want to win the conference and take the title, take the belt. That's something we didn't do last year. We didn't finish last year. And I think that was the one thing I was talking about, our preparation. I don't think we were ready for it last year. I think we were a very young offense, didn't understand what it took, didn't understand the meaning of winning. Like, we didn't appreciate it. And I think when we got put in that point, last year when we played them, went to the double overtime, I think they wanted it more. I think they knew, what it took. They knew they had put more work in than us, prepared better. They knew their assignments better, and they just beat us. They were the better team last year. So definitely looking forward to that. And we're playing another great team this year. They've returned everybody on defense. most of the guys. I think 9 out of the 11 starters from last year, but they got a guy back that was hurt last season. That's one of their best players. But I mean, definitely, I don't even know if I'm looking for the revenge, but looking to get better and focus on ourselves and be the Clemson, be the team that we are. Because I mean, we've developed a ton on offense, and I think all around we're a better team, but they're a really good team too. So looking to capitalize on that and just go out and compete and be the team that we are.
When you guys were looking back on the tape, was the Brenningstool touchdown when you're talking about successes from the day? Was that Brenningstool touchdown? Was that one of those ones where you guys were looking at the offensive line and thinking like, man, we really did the job well today?
So I believe I know what you're talking about. With the Brenningstool, are you talking about? I think it was first quarter. Went down there, good protection, kind of like scrambling back in the end zone.
He had the ball for like 8 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, that's really good. And like I said, the more time that he needs, he should have it. On that protection, I think it was supposed to be 4 or 5 seconds and out, which is still a good amount of time. But being able to protect for 7 seconds, I mean, that's huge, and cover those guys up because that was a really good defense. I don't care what people say. You know, everyone's like, we shouldn't be that close with Wake Forest. And again, that was a really good team. That was a veteran team. Their D-line was really good, trained, work hard, and really good competitors. I mean, they were relentless effort on most plays. And so, I mean, being able to give him 7 seconds in the pocket, that's really impressive. And we take a lot of pride in that, and we're looking forward to doing that again.
Yes, sir. Can you, as an offensive lineman, obviously the quarterback knows it's taking a lot of time. Can you, as an offensive lineman, blocking for 7 seconds? Like, do you think this play's going on for a long time?
I mean, there's some plays where like I think the ball is gone, I'll turn around and he's still back there. But then I mean, we just keep working and keep doing our thing. And on most of that, but most of the time you can feel it. Like even though we don't know what's going on, because that's what. Whenever I'm blocking something, I mean, my face is normally buried. I don't see what's going on. I'm focused on him, like seeing if he's about to make a double move or something like that. I have no idea what's going on. Where the ball? The only way I know if we score is if everybody starts yelling, and, like running down the field. So normally I just wait on that. But I mean, like I said, we'll just go until like as long as it takes. But I mean, that's pretty much it on that.
How's communication just been as opposed to kind of this point last year? Do you guys see like a noticeable improvement there across the offensive line, just the communication wise?
Yeah, so there's definitely been improved communication. We've had some faults definitely throughout the season so far that we need to get better on. We're definitely not where we need to be at from a communication standpoint. I think we had 2 false starts in the game against Wake. That was communication error, so we definitely have to improve on that. But we are getting better. You know, it's just like we've got a true freshman out there. I'm playing a new position. These aren't excuses. No excuses at all. Putnam was playing center for the first time this year, so everyone getting settled in, still learning how to communicate.
Speaking on Putnam playing center, you all played next to each other on the line last year. How much does it help to in that communication and just chemistry on the field, being next to each other again?
Yeah, no, I love it. I love playing next to Putnam. I mean, that's one of my best friends. It's my roommate. So, I mean, we're together pretty much 24/7. I mean, we come here, practice all day, go home, watch the football together, and sit at the house. So, I mean, there's a lot of chemistry there, and it's easy to play next to him because we'll talk. We'll fight. I mean, we'll, like, even during lifts and everything, we'll compete with each other. We'll yell at each other, but, I mean, it's never personal like that. And he's a natural-born competitor, and he'll really get after it. So, having somebody next to you like that, it makes it a whole lot easier.
Speaking of Putnam, he talked to us in the preseason about you guys putting it on yourselves to give DJ the time he needs to protect for him so that he can have the season that you guys knew we could have. As you mentioned, it's just 4 games in, there's a long way to go, but how much reward have you guys taken out of seeing the protection hold up for DJ and the narrative start to shift around him too?
A ton of rewards so far, and I haven't really personally. I try not to look at social media, especially in the season, just from the good or the negative that can come from it. But I know that DJ's been getting a lot of love recently, and I love that. I mean, that's one of the hardest working dudes that I've ever seen in my life. That's what Tuesday night after a long practice like tonight, everybody will rush out of here, get home, get food, go home, do homework. He'll be up here watching film for another hour or two, preparing, like getting the game plan and everything. So, especially last season, you know, after Georgia, I mean, various games throughout the season, there wasn't really – I don't think we had a really dominant performance last season. Being able to protect him, let him do what he does. So being able to block for 7 seconds or give him the time that he needs to throw the ball and show people what he can do, I mean, that's one of the best feelings ever because he was getting a lot of stuff last year, a lot of hate and negativity from us performing bad. So, I mean, that was a horrible feeling last year watching him pretty much take all the negativity for us playing bad up front. So it's been really good lately seeing him succeed.
The counting stats haven't exactly backed up just yet, but this could be one of the more dominant defenses in the country. I know you're obviously on the other side of the ball, but you're going up against these guys, especially the defensive line, every single day in practice. So how much faith do you have in those guys that they'll be able to figure this thing out?
Oh, I have a ton of faith. I have no question in our defense, and that's what we said. I mean, we're not playing complimentary football yet, but I think we will. I think our defensive line is still a monster. I know our defense struggled a little bit, but I mean, so did we all season last year. And that's what many of the games that we had. It wasn't double overtime, 51-40 something like this last week. It was like 10-7, something like that, where we weren't putting points on the board. and we weren't doing what we needed to do. So I mean, they saved us for many games last year. They pretty much won most of the games for us last year when we weren't performing. So I have no doubt at all that they'll get it figured out, and I still think this is one of the best defenses in the country once they settle in.
Bunch of- A bunch of scramble drill touchdowns this season. Is that kind of the ultimate source of pride for an offensive lineman when you can give the quarterback that little
much
extra
time
he needs and find a receiver in the end zone?
A ton, and that's perfect too. I mean, if we can convert to a scramble drill and make plays off that, that's huge because that's really hard to defend. Once you get to scramble drill, it's kind of one-on-one. I know, especially, I don't know all the rules for it, but and coverage. Once you get scramble drill and you got dudes running all over the place, I mean, that's extremely hard to defend. And the guys that we have at wide receiver, and plus with DJ, I take a lot of pride in that. It's good seeing that.
You guys cleared the deck for Shipley on the first play of the game. He takes it 53 yards. Just what's it like blocking for a running back that's that explosive like that?
It's awesome, and it's fun to see too. It's very rewarding. Being able to put a hat on a hat and make the blocks and watch him run it for 50 yards on a play that, sometimes we'll get 3 yards, 4 yards, and then first play of the game, watching him run 50 yards down the field. It gets the confidence going. It kind of gets the, just sets the tone for the rest of the game, and it brought out a lot of confidence, which is something that we need to capitalize on because I kind of think that it was really good seeing that. But I think once he busted for 50 yards, we're like, oh, okay, this is gonna be cake. He's gonna do this all day. And then we kind of let them back in the game. But no, that first play, watching him run for 50 yards, it's huge. And Shipley will get into it too. If I miss a block or if I don't get on a linebacker for long enough, he'll yell at me and stuff like that. But that's good. You need that. You need that energy and that leadership. But no, I love blocking for Shipley.